remember this guy. He likes to eat lots of this stuff and lots of this stuff. Probably because he has stress in his life. I talked about before, what happens when you do that, blood sugar goes really high. And when that happens, what I want to talk about now is that when your blood sugar goes high because of this garbage, your pancreas starts to produce insulin. The problem with that is this stuff causes your insulin to go way high, and then because it wants to bring your blood sugar back down. Well, it's all okay so long as that insulin blood sugar swings in a very narrow margin. When it starts swinging way wide, it goes way wide both directions. You remember your blood sugar goes high and insulin shows up, it starts packing all of this energy into your fat cells, and they start to get big. We like little ones, not big ones. All right, so when that happens, there's another problem. Your fat cells, your muscle cells, and your liver cells can keep drawing in insulin, but if there's no need for it, if it's not burned up, it just goes to fat. So these start to become insensitive to insulin. They come over here and they say, we don't want any more of this. And then they call the police, because these cells tell your brain that insulin is hurting us. We don't need it anymore. So your brain calls the police, and it comes over here and starts attacking, says, we've had complaints and you guys have to stop producing this insulin. Diabetes, insulin insensitivity, leads to massive shifts in blood sugar, leads to more fat. So what do we do to reduce it? Stop putting this in there, okay? And that starts to rebalance all of this stuff. Another thing, when we have stress, we get something called cortisol. Helps us deal with stress. And it's good in small amounts for short periods. While we're sleeping, that's sleeping, all right? So while we're sleeping, this should, around 3 a.m., should go up. Cortisol goes up to increase blood sugar to help our bodies heal these tissues. And it should drop off around 5 or 6 a.m. when you wake up, and then be at very low levels or no levels during the day. Because your body cannot function very well when there's a lot of this all the time. When you have too much cortisol, you have inflammation. And this shows up and starts messing with things, and these guys show up and start attacking your own tissues. So what you want to do around the time you wake up is you want to cut cortisol. But the problem is, what a lot of people do when they wake up is this. OMG. You are not talking about taking away my coffee. Well, don't talk to me about losing weight. Stop doing this in the morning. Don't use this to wake you up, because coffee spikes cortisol, which spikes blood sugar, which turns all this energy into fat. Don't use that to wake yourself up. Use protein, okay? You want to eat protein for breakfast right here, because that will shut your adrenals off and shut cortisol off and start to regulate your blood sugar, and you have normal energy through the day and less stress, which leads to which leads to eating less of this stuff. Because when this gets all out of balance, and it does it because of how much sugar we take in, your body turns its back on its own organs and calls your immune system and inflammation to come in and mess up your hormones. Here's what's important to do if you want to lose weight. Fast sugar, several days in a row, no sugar. And then you need to follow the 5 rules of leptin that I put in the other video. And don't drink coffee for breakfast. Also, you have to start exercising, vigorous exercise. Something that gets your heart rate up for 3 hours a week. Now, there's lots and lots of unique situations between individuals. You have to see a doctor, get blood work, an exam. But what I really want you to understand is these are basics that pretty much everybody can follow and get some results. So this is for the most part what I'm doing, and on the next video I'll talk a little bit about gluten, and then I'll show you what I'm eating.